Silence your cell phones now.
I knows how to play real music, not this jug band shit.
You call that playing music?
I know what I'm doing. Go on and fire me, I don't care.
When I got there, they began to say.
That's to get the people's attention.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the movie experience. And yes, I am here, Mr. A&D, and we're going to do 2021 is here. And yes, I know this review you're seeing here is a movie from 2020, but I just got around to seeing it, and I'm telling you right now, it's one of my favorites of 2020. It really is. I'm mad I didn't get a chance to put it on my list when I made the list. But we're doing something new in Nerd Coalition because I really love movies. It's hard for me to let go of the movie experience. So we are going to be doing a lot of audio and a lot of visual movie experiences depending on what the thing is. So you may see a couple of us do visual stuff, you may see a lot of us do audio stuff when we're doing on the podcast. Doesn't matter, but I'm going to give you guys more movie experiences to be getting into. And right now we're going to be talking about the new film, Chadwick Boseman's last feature film, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is directed by George C. Wolfe and is based on the actually it's based on Ma Rainey's Black Bottom by August Wilson. August Wilson is also the same one who wrote Fences, it's like a play and everything like that. So August Wilson does some incredible work. Make sure you guys check this out. So this movie focuses on just one event that has taken place in 1927 when Ma Rainey and her group is getting ready. They are in Chicago and they're about to go and record a song. It's a hot summer day and they talk about all the events and the tension that builds up in just that one day. So it's one of those movies that takes place in just one area, one section, which I actually am a big fan of those kind of movies and that kind of cinema. So right now I'm going to give you guys the I'm going to give you guys the good, I'm going to give you guys the bad, and since we're in quarantine stuff like that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the spoiler post experience because I just watched it on Netflix. So start off with the good. Good right off the bat, I have to say, because it's not even because he passed away. Chadwick Boseman comes with it, and he comes with it hard, and it's so hard. I hate watching these movies every time when somebody passes away after they gave like the most incredible performance. It almost feels like they knew they was going to die. We gotta make sure I give you the performance of a lifetime. Well, let me tell you something. Chadwick may get nominated for something because he plays the character of Levy, who is the trumpet player in Ma Rainey's band. And I'm telling you, Chadwick is really acting out of character because Chadwick plays different things, historical figures that were somebody before, or characters that he's good at adapting that character. And like I said, now the story of Levy, we're not necessarily sure if he was a real trumpet player or not. I was sort of doing research to see if Levy was one who existed, but whatever the case may be, he is the one that in that scene of where he steals the show. He really does. And his fast talking and his thing like that, he does a good job. Like, you can see the deterioration through the film of his character, and Chadwick brings a great amount of that to that character, because there are times you're gonna laugh with him because he's joking. There are times that you're gonna be angry with him because he's annoyed. There's gonna be times that you're gonna be slightly arrogant with him because he's the best at what he does. But then there's times that he's going to make you feel. There are two parts of this movie, two performances where he gets really deep and he explains him and who Levy really is, and you're hooked. You're hooked onto that part, and I'm telling you, to the point, you're so hooked into Boseman's performance because of two things. One, let's be honest, you're going to be hooked on him because he's Boseman, he just passed away, and you're also going to be hooked at it because how powerful he delivered this thing. And I'm telling you right now, I was so hooked to it, I didn't even realize. I'm like, yo, we're in the same scene since we got here. We've been in the same room for about 20 plus some minutes right now. So that's how powerful it is, because him and the rest of the cast, because we have other cast members in here like Glenn Turman, and we also have Coleman Domingo, all them great cast. For those who don't know, those Glenn Turman, especially from Different World, and of course Cooley High, and then you also have Coleman Domingo for line character actors. Last time you probably guys remember seeing him was in The Butler, but the interaction between her whole band is great, and then of course know what good it is. Viola Davis comes in, struts her stuff, playing the role of Ma Rainey. Now, before I seen this movie, and I was like, okay, 2020 is over. Should I still even review it? But the movie was just so good, I was like, I gotta review it because it should have been on my best of 2020. To be honest with you, but I'm like, but I'm still getting this review out to you guys, and I'm gonna have to say this right now. I had to go and watch the movie Betsy because the Bessie Smith movie, which stars Queen Latifah in that movie, because my wife was telling me she enjoyed the Monique portrayal of Ma Rainey. So I sat there, I watched Viola Davis' performance first. I said, I'm gonna be fair, open-minded, and have something to compare it to, because at first I had nothing to compare it to, and I see Monique's performance, and I'm telling you right now, can't hold a candle, because Viola Davis kills it in this, and you can tell the amount of research and amount of things that went into finding out who Ma Rainey was and everything. And there's even a little behind the scenes thing that Netflix has, like a little 30-minute thing that I watched also, of the detail and how she used to sing on stage, how she used to, act on stage, how her, her makeup used to look on stage and everything like that, and how she used to act. And I'm telling you something, the difference between the two Ma Raineys that I see from Viola Davis and Monique is that Monique did good. She did her thing, and she introduced the character of Ma Rainey. It was like she's on her shit type thing. Viola Davis scared me, as in you don't want to fuck with this lady. And remind you, this is 1927. We're in the thick of Jim Crow right now, okay? Ain't no black woman talking to no white people like the way she's talking to these people. I don't care how much kind of power she got. Is she from Georgia? But she scares not just only the white people, her people too. To the point I watch this movie, I'm like, yo, just do it the way Ma say. Just do it the way Ma say. And that's what Viola Davis brought to the character for me, that edged out Monique's performance from Bessie. Okay, and then of course, with the little more detail of it also, like I said, with the makeup and everything like that. Like I believe, like she put the grill in her mouth, like Ma Rainey had, and everything like that. Like I believe, like it was just like she wasn't Viola Davis no more. She was Ma Rainey, and I'm telling you right now, that is the I'm telling you, man, when Viola Davis be getting into these August Wilson works right there, like even when it fences, but that snot bubble was right there, and it was just like, yo, blow your nose, but you acted, it's great. You know what I'm saying? It's she can't be touched. She can't be touched. It's a very informative movie. Very, like I said, I wasn't really familiar with Ma Rainey, or because like I said, I like jazz, but when it blues and stuff like that, but my wife is more into it than I am. So when it comes to these historical kind of movies like that, I tend to miss them. Not because I don't want to see them. I'm just like, screw those. I'm just like, it doesn't come across my mind because I'm more civil rights era. I'm more of a history buff like that. And I when it comes to music wise, I'm in the old school R&B. Well, I mean old school. I'm talking about saying 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, temptations, stuff like that. So when it comes to the blues and jazz and the Harlem Renaissance, stuff like that, I gotta go talk to my wife about that. Then I educate myself on those kind of things. I'm just like, the Billie Holiday era type of thing. So that's why, and I was like, I'm really informed by this movie. I sat there and just watched it, and I was like into it the whole time. So now if I go into the bad, I mean, there's not really that much bad here, but if you've been nitpicking, we'll go into the bad. Okay, so if there is any bad, I mean, the movie is short. It's only 90 minutes long, really. But once again, I thought as though it was probably a perfect length because of how it's portrayed. This was a movie that was, this was a stage play that was turned into a movie. And usually when you have things that are on stage, obviously you can tell that this was on stage at first and turned into a movie because they're in one location the whole time. And after the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then we're in this other room for 30 minutes, and then we go to someplace else. So it's like, at first I was just like, man, what is going on? We ever get out of this room? But like I said, Chadwick's performance never made me think I was ever bored with it. I was ever anything with that movie. So it was a nitpick. It wasn't what I when I say it need to be longer and drawn out and know about the life of Ma Rainey, because this movie was focused on just that one day, and it's just amazing how just everything kind of it just went all into disaster almost at the end of the film, especially for Levy's character. Which means now we're getting into the experience / spoiler section of the review. Alright, so when it comes to the slight spoilers, you have been warned. So if you guys do not want spoilers, go check out my Reigns Black Bottom. You can come back here on this video, Nerd Culture Studios, hit the subscribe button because it will be up, and you can come see my little spoilers. Okay, so here, all right. So here's the thing when it comes to the spoilers here. So this is really like a piece about Levy and how he is the best trumpet player in my Reigns band, but she's seen that old jug bug music that he said, and as he's the one that wants to change with the time, want to get the people clapping, want to get the people dancing and everything like that, and he tries to go to her record producer to see if he wrote some songs that he wants to sing out these songs, but when the record producer in 1927 wants to pay him for the songs and not let him sing them because at first he feels as though that you're not the kind of person we're looking for. In other words, you're not white. Okay, so you can't sing the song because you're not white. And he's like, but those are my songs, and he goes on a downward spiral. But you can tell they make fun of him for smiling and cheesing in front of the white man's face. And he tells the story of how he became who he was, terrible upbringing, and his mama got raped by the Klan and all that. It's just like horrible stuff. And the reason why he is an atheist and why he doesn't believe in God and how other black folks at that time were very religious, and and it was all about going to the church and being in church, especially in black families a lot, even to this day. And he gives a great scene explaining why he is the way he is until the end. We kind of it was said that he does kill one of the band members. That's how this goes. I said there's gonna be spoilers here, so just to see where he's so confident and so sure of himself and so basically happy to be in this band all the way to the end, where he does the most drastic thing that ever was. It's just like it's the downward spiral. So guys, that was my Reigns Black Bottom, and of course, when it comes to grading, I'm giving my Reigns Black Bottom a complete nerdgasm. The movie was great. I recommend you guys go on Netflix, check it out. Yes, it was a 2020 movie, but I bet you gotta give my man Chadwick his props. Make sure you guys go check out if you guys are a Chadwick Boseman fan. If you're a fan of movies, fan of Viola Davis, go out there and make sure you guys support it. If you're a fan of August Wilson's plays, check it out. Check out Fences also as well. So make sure you check it out. And it's produced by Denzel Washington. Everybody love Denzel. Okay, so post in the comments down below if you guys have seen it, if you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review of it. And if you guys are into movies like I am, and you're a movie buff and you want to see movie reviews, there will always be a movie review, hopefully every weekend in 2020, right here on NC Studios. You make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to make sure you get all my content. It may be visual, it may be audio, because we may do it on the Nerdgasm Talk podcast, but you guys will always be able to get it here if you hit that subscribe button. So once again, this is NC, the place to be. Chill, Mr. Andy. Hey, and I'll see you at the movies.